I'm down at the Victory Garden this morning. I'm starting to put the straw around the potatoes, but more importantly, I'm gonna be planting the peppers. So I'm starting to put the straw around the potatoes, and I got a whole bale to go to put it all the way down. But I forgot my hoe to tear up the weeds that are growing. So I'm just gonna have to let it go. Amongst the onions, I'm gonna have to hand pick that, I guess. Might space them a little differently next year, just so I can get my hoe in between. But I'm gonna be planting the peppers all in here. We'll space them 1 foot apart, so I should get 36 potatoes into the garden bed here. But the main thing I'm doing is planting the peppers, and to be honest, I'm actually very worried. That's because last week my back went out and I was crippled for several days. It was so bad that I was thinking of giving up the garden plot because I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to plant the peppers and the tomatoes. In fact, any kind of crop in the ground, I wasn't sure how I was going to be planting it. So I was thinking, maybe I'm actually going to need to give up the garden plot because I might not be able to do this. I might have to raise everything up a couple of feet off the ground if I want to do any kind of gardening. It was that bad. It took me 15 minutes to go from my driveway to my side door, and then another 15 minutes to go from the door to my chair so I could sit down. Calling an orthopedic surgeon on Monday just to see what's going on with my back. Might need to get an MRI or something, but it was that bad. I don't go to the doctor, but it was that bad that I was actually considering giving up the garden. But I'm going to use a post hole digger today. Hopefully won't be too terrible on my back, and I'll be able to get the peppers into the ground. I'm spacing them 1 foot apart in this bed that's 4 by 9. So I cut a piece of wood here that I've measured out 1 foot markings. So I'll just be putting a pepper in every foot across. So it's going to give me 4 rows this way, probably 9 rows that way, or 9 plants going down that way, since I did 4 by 9 bed. So should be 36 plants, but we'll see what happens here. So having potted up these peppers, the roots are doing pretty good here, so that's nice. And so far, they're going into the ground okay, without too much risk to my back. That's all my back would let me do for the past hour plus. So I got, I was at 16 plants in, about a little less than halfway. So I'll have to come back tomorrow, or maybe later, depending if my back stops screaming at me. And I wasn't able to get more of the straw down, so that'll have to be another project for another day. So as I said, this back is going to be problematic if I don't get it fixed soon, but at least we got some peppers in. Another half a bed to go, and hopefully we will be able to get it done. Well, it's a couple of days later, and I got all the peppers in. They're looking a little worse for the wear because of the heat. It's got to be 80, feels like 90 degrees out here, but they're in. Looks like they're taking, which is good. They were watered in well, and they seem to be okay. So now it's just a matter of putting the tomatoes in, the next challenge. In my last video, I mentioned about my back going out, and I was going to go see a orthopedic surgeon about it. Well, of course I never did, because I don't go see doctors. But I ended up doing something that actually worked out for me. It took me about an hour and a half to put in 16 plants the other day, and then the next morning I put in 6 more plants in a half hour, and my back just gave out on me. So it just so happened I started using nicotine pouches that morning after I came back from the garden. And I'm not giving medical advice here, but they help my back. My back doesn't hurt me anymore. I came back down, did the other 20 something plants in a half hour, and I didn't have any pain anymore. Could just be coincidence, but it seems to have worked pretty well. And since then, the back isn't 100%, but it's 100% better than it was. So I don't know if the nicotine actually helped with the muscle, the pain receptors or something like that, but the back doesn't bother me anymore, or so much that I can't do the planting. Now, I don't smoke or anything like that. I'm not trying to quit smoking, but they help with appetite suppressant. I'm a big boy. So I actually started taking using the nicotine pouches to as an appetite suppressant, and that's actually worked pretty well too. I take one for breakfast, take one for lunch, and then I eat a sensible meal. It's like the Slim Fast diet of nicotine pouches. And there's just no hunger anymore. Maybe that will change because the nicotine's still going through my system. Yeah, don't tell me all about the health risks and stuff like that. That's more from smoking than the nicotine itself. But I know it's not optimal. I know it's not healthy. But it's helping me with the eating, and I'm going to say it's helping me with my back. Again, not medical advice, but man, it worked for me. And my knees don't hurt me anymore either. That was my other big problem. It was like I couldn't go up and down stairs without pain, probably because of inflammation and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking the nicotine suppresses the inflammation in the body. So I'm not sure I'm going to have any problems putting in the tomatoes, which I'll probably be starting within the next few days. But the peppers are in, and that's really helpful and exciting. So if you want to see what we're doing in the garden last week, check out this video right here, and then subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that way you can follow along in the progress on all of our vegetables as we try to grow a supermarket down at the Victory Garden. Let's grow something awesome.